Hi, how are you doing? This is Pastor Cheryl. If you remember, we're in a project to get through the book of John. And before the holidays, we started off at the beginning of John. Then we jumped ahead to Easter, which is John 20. And now we're back at John 11. We're doing 11. Um, this is a story of Lazarus. And I will skip through this because, homilies are not supposed to be more than 10 minutes. Um, Lazarus dies at Bethany. Now, a man was sick, Lazarus from Bethany, the village of Mary, and her sister Martha. Mary was the one who anointed the Lord with the perfume and wiped his feet with her hair, and it was her brother Lazarus who was sick. So the sister sent a message to him, Lord, the one you love is sick. When Jesus heard it, he said, the sickness will not end in death, but is for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it. Now Jesus loved Martha, her sister, and Lazarus. Please make note that Lazarus was a common name back then. So when he heard that he was sick, he stayed 2 more days in the place where he was. Then after that, he said to the disciples, let's go to Judea again. Rabbi, the disciples told him, just now the Jews tried to stone you, and you're going to go there again? Aren't there 12 hours in a day? Jesus answered. And if anyone walks during the day, he doesn't stumble because he sees the light of this world. But if anyone walks during the night, he does not stumble because the light is not in him. Okay, let's jump ahead. We were interrupted there just for a moment. This is Moline, Illinois, and this is what it's like here. And if you could see the bushes behind me, they're blooming. This is very lovely. The resurrection and the life. We're jumping ahead to verse 17. When Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. Bethany was near Jerusalem, less than 2 miles away. Many of the Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them about their brother. As soon as Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him, but Mary remained seated in the house. Then Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. Yet even now I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give you. Your brother will rise again, Jesus told her. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me, even if he dies, will live. Everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? Yes, Lord, she told him. I believe you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who comes to the world. Having said this, she went back and called her sister Mary, saying in private, the teacher is here and is calling for you. As soon as Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him. And we'll jump ahead again to verse 38 because this is a long section. The seventh sign. This is raising Lazarus from the dead. Then Jesus, deeply moved again, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone was lying against it. Remove the stone, Jesus said. Martha, the dead man's sister, told him, Lord, there is already a stench, because he has been dead 4 days. Jesus said to her, didn't I tell you that if you believe, you would see the glory of God? So they removed the stone, and Jesus raised his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you heard me, and I know that you always hear me, but because of the crowd standing here, I say this so that they may believe you sent me. After he said this, he shouted with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. The dead man came out, bound hand and foot with linen strips, and with his face wrapped in a cloth. Jesus said to them, "Unwrap him and let him go." Okay, now I think it's important to note that we just went through Easter and where Jesus came back from the dead. And they found proof of this as we were talking about the shroud. And they have found actual scientific proof that that is the real shroud of Jesus Christ. I think the church has known that for years, but the shroud was slightly burned with x rays from his return. X rays, and they said ultraviolet light, not too sure what else. There was a few other curiosity things that they found that his hands were actually moving, so it's a record of his resurrection that we could see. His hands were moving, and if someone lays on a cement stone, their butt is going to be flat, and it wasn't. So he must have been elevated somehow, or standing, or elevated. And it's kind of a mysterious thing. And they've come up with several pictures of what he possibly looked like. Apparently, he was beaten so bad he was beyond recognition. And it's hard to imagine that they would do that to someone for no real apparent reason at all. There's just you know there was no he didn't do any crimes. He really didn't. It's just that the temple priests were jealous of him. So the imagined crime was that he had said that the accusation was that he was king of the Jews, and this was not taken seriously by Pontius Pilate or his wife, who really did not want him crucified. But because there was such a large crowd that was threatening, and he only had a handful of soldiers, that he allowed them to do whatever they wanted to do because there were too many of them. He couldn't really hold them off. So apparently, Jesus was badly beaten and whipped front and back. It's called a heinous crime. It's heinous, vicious, and nailed him on up to the cross and killed him, and he died within 6 hours. It must have been traumatizing to his followers as well as himself. That's all you can say. It's trauma, trauma, And they have been examining his blood and find, I think it was butane in it, which is released by the liver in the event of being the body being traumatized. So the blood will always stay red because of that butane that's in the blood. And they're examining the blood and other DNA for other reasons. And yeah, yeah, it's real. It was him. It's real. And so I have a friend who's Roman Catholic, and she's very into that. We are not Catholic. Our church is basically, we're Protestant, but we're ecumenical fellowship church. We try to be open to all Christian faiths. We tried to make it beyond that and have it open to all faiths, but that didn't work. That doesn't work. Um, and so people like to fight. That's why. Um, but anyway, you could see that this was a precursor to Christ coming back, because he said he was going to come back. If he's killed, he's going to come back. And so he brought his friend Lazarus back, um, and in front of Mary and Martha and everybody else, and they were really impressed. Um, I would be impressed too. I'd always have the question is, how did you do this? And please explain this. To me, I'm looking for a scientific explanation. Okay, I'm looking for science because that's how I think. That's how we think in this day and age. But anyway, I am running out of time. And blessings to all of you. And I hope you had a lovely Easter. You can see that pretty bush behind me there. Isn't that lovely? That's really, really nice. And the trees are coming out. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.